Hello everyone, I'm here to walk you through setting up an MLA formatted document in Word for Mac. But it's my purpose in watching this video, and that you watching this video, that you will be able to actually set up your own Word documents according to MLA guidelines. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the very first thing I'd like to do is actually set up a default font in Word. All right, so in order to do that in Mac, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to Format. And if you see the font section or the font key link right here, you can click on that and it'll open a new window for you. All right, now the default font for Word, or the font that MLA typically requires, is going to be Times New Roman size 12. So go ahead and set those fonts for that right now. Now, what I mean by setting something as a default, or the reason why I'm wanting you to go through this particular menu, is because I do want you to set up your fonts as a default. Now, what that is that every time you open a new document in Word, it will automatically be in Times New Roman size 12. Now, most of your instructors are willing to accept Times New Roman size 12 as your font, so it's going to be very rare that you're going to have an instructor that actually does not want you to use Times New Roman, or one that won't accept it. So as you're working yourself through college, go ahead and set this as a default now so you don't have to worry about it for later. Okay, and to do that, you can click on the default link here down at the bottom left-hand corner. And then what you're going to select is all documents based on the normal template. Right. That will go ahead and allow, or all new documents that you open up will automatically be in Times New Roman size 12. Go ahead and hit OK. Right. Once that's done, you won't have to reset it again. Right. So now the very first thing that you're going to type at the top of the page, and you shouldn't have to move your cursor one bit. Margins already should be set at 1 inch all around. So go ahead and leave the margins alone. Right. So the very first thing you're going to type is going to be your first and last name. Directly below that is going to be, your instructor's name. And then you're going to have the class. All right, so you should include the course and the course number. Now, some professors are going to want you to include the section number, but because of the use of Blackboard, I don't find that this is particularly necessary anymore, but you might want to include it nevertheless. Then right after that is going to be the due date. And so you can type something along the lines of, and it will look like this. All right, so you'll have the day, month, then year. All right, and after that, you will need to just hit enter once and then center the cursor by using the icon up here. And then center it so that way the cursor is immediately into the center of the page. And this is where you will write the title of the essay. Hit enter once again to get to the next line, backspace, or for Macs, delete, and then one tab. And you will want to start your essay right here. Now I'm pretty sure you've already noticed at this point that I have not double spaced my document. So to do that, one of the things I can do right now is I can actually highlight the entire document using my mouse, or if you want to be extra fast, you can hit Command A, and that will do pretty much the same thing. Now to get to this next section, you can either do Control-click on your mouse, or if you've already got it set up on your laptop to do a 2-finger click, then you can use that as well. Or you can go up to here for Format and select Paragraph. I'm going to go ahead and select it here since I'm already here and I've already shown you the other shortcuts. So I'm going to go ahead and select Paragraph. And I want to make sure, I'm showing this one here too because you can also set this as a default. So you can set the spacing for double. Now in a Word, sometimes the spacing here in the before and after section is going to be a little different. So make sure both of these say 0. Right? And then you can set as default. Once again, all documents based on the normal template. Okay, hit OK, and there you go, a double-spaced document. So this is exactly what your first page should look like. Now there is one more thing that we're missing at the moment, and that is page number, or what's supposed to be in the header. To get there, you can hit Insert, and you can go over to where it says page number in the menu bar. Click on that, and click page number again. Now you want it to be at the top of the page on the right-hand side, and hit OK. That should be it. Now you do need your last name right next to the page number. Now this one's going to be a little tricky, and it's a little different definitely for Mac users using Word. So to get your name as close as possible, as close as necessary to the page number, you actually have to double click or click and hold on the page number itself. So that way you see this dotted box, a rectangle, and then you see the cursor blinking right next to the page number. And that is where you will type your last name with a space between your last name and the page number. Then you can double click out of the header, and that's exactly what it should look like. Alright, so I'm going to add one more thing here. This is mainly for the Works Cited page. Now to get here, one of the things that I don't want you to do is I don't want you to hit enter a number of times until you get to the next page. There's a much simpler way of doing that. So one, you can go back to the Insert tab and hit Page Break. Or to do the same thing, you can actually hit Command and Enter, and that'll actually do the exact same thing. What that'll do is it'll go ahead and move the cursor automatically to the next page, so that no matter what is typed here above it, whatever is typed here in this line is actually going to be on the next page. So even if you do type enough to get to page number 2, whatever is typed here will jump to page number 3 automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. So it's a good way of using that. It's a good tool to remember. Just like with the title of the essay, we do want to center the Works Cited page. And then hit Enter, and then delete one more time. Now, what we need here now is what's called a hanging indent, and that is very different from the indent that you have on the first line. Notice how Start Essay here is indented 1/2 inch in the page on the very first line. And for the Works Cited page, you need what's called a hanging indent, where the second and third lines of an entry are going to be indented rather than the first. So the first line is going to be flush with the left-hand margin here. Okay, now to create a hanging indent, you can do it in a couple of ways. Now there is one way that is pretty easy, and I'm going to go ahead and do the Control click on my mouse here and select Paragraph. Now you notice we have here the same window where we use the line spacing, but what I want you to do now is go to Special up in this area, and you want to select Hanging. Okay, if you notice in the sample text here, you can see that the second line has been indented. If you see that, you've done it correctly. So go ahead and hit OK. Now I already have a Works Cited entry saved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. All right. So and now if you notice, it's not formatted the way it's supposed to be, at least not with double spacing, and also there's extra spacing with a Works Cited page. So I do need to make sure to correct that. So before I do anything else, I can go to these Paste Options menu here, click on it, and you want to match destination formatting. And there you go. There is a Works Cited entry that has been formatted correctly to MLA standards. So this is what your Works Cited page should look like. All right, so this is a formatted document. Now what I would suggest doing next is to go to Save As. What this will do is it'll save a new document, but what you can do is you can type MLA template as the file name, save it to your desktop or wherever is most convenient for you, and you can hit Save. That way the document has already been saved. Now I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and I'm going to go to my documents. All right, so there's the MLA template document. I'm going to go ahead and open it. So there it is again. Now, say that I want to start an entirely new essay. What I can do is I can go back to File, go back to Save As, retype and type a new name, and hit save. Now anything I do on this document will be specifically for whatever essay I'm working on. It won't have changed the MLA template. So now you can see on my desktop I've got essay 1 and I've got MLA template. So they're both there now. So every time you open the MLA template, you can resave it or save as a new document, and then you can just work from that new document. That way you always have an MLA formatted template available for yourself. Okay, so that is an MLA formatted document in Word for Mac. If you have any questions whatsoever in regards to how to format this, please be sure and let me know.